Yes, hopefully cross your fingers. We've re-gone live. We've re-gone live again. We've become re-live. We are we are reliving now. Let's hope that this connection is fine now. Yeah, is it okay? Let's hope that it is okay. So I'm reconnecting the class just for the sake of build up again, and let's invoke our Ishvara that we have no interruptions. Somehow this verse is getting too many interruptions. So the topic being trying to understand what do you do with your temporary existence in the temporary world? What value is it? Because as I was trying to say at that point, that when you understand that it is all temporary, you tend to develop a dispassion, a disinterest. You give it a lesser a value when you know that it is temporary. You only fool yourself that there is a lot of happiness when you believe it to be permanent. But the minute there is this notion of temporariness that surfaces, the obstacle of losing interest in whatever one is doing arises because of the dispassion that one experiences in it. Now, if you only understand that for our own value of life entirely, what is that which is most worthful? He says here, just being of the nature of having a mind which is introvert in terms of it being dedicated to a higher altar. With reference to it being dedicated to a higher altar, it is able to be introvert. When the mind focuses on something higher, the mind automatically starts to remain within itself. And higher can only be the highest. And that highest would be God. When you are keeping your mind in worship, to that an extent, the gain of it is permanent. Okay, I'll give you an example. When you see in an ocean floating objects, what is their value to you? You are in a cruise ship. You see something floating in the ocean. What is its value? No value. But supposing Titanic happened, what is the floating object's value then? It's a lifeline. This is how we actually take prayers. When we are sitting in this embodiment and everything is fine, we take prayers to be like floating objects. They don't seem to be so essential to life. They just seem to be there as only when I need to be using them. The effort that Bhartrahari is going to put in is start seeing them as if they are your life dependencies. As if your life depends on it. Your mind should be such that your life depends on it. On it means what? That those prayers, that worship, worship should be, here it is not a mechanical thing, we all understand. It's upasana. Upasana means upa-asan. Asan, we all know, sitting. Sitting near God is called upasana. When do you sit near God? Obviously, when you do prayer, you sit quiet, sit steady, sit in silence, sit with your mind absorbed with that deity. That is called upasana. Not a mere mechanical worship. A puja alone is not called upasana. Unless until your mind is in close contact with the form, with the deity, whatever you are worshipping, unless and until you feel that oneness, Just as when in the world, if you're attached to someone, how close do you feel to that? When you're attached to God also, how close would God feel to you? This effort or this practice, he says, is the only thing that will have a permanent base in your life. Other than that, in this temporary world, as long as you're sailing in a cruise, you're cruising in your life, the cruise will end one day. And when it ends someday, you will have the only shore to go to will be the shore where you do not know what is anything further. But if you have learned to depend on that floating object, this floating object that you see in the ocean at that stage, which is useless otherwise while you're cruising, because obviously they're not parallel. The life in a cruise is not parallel to holding on to an object in an ocean, floating object in an ocean. But when you are in the cruise and you constantly remember that there is that object, you will gain something out of it. To highlight the importance of this Shiva Archana, he is giving in the 81st verse a very beautiful first. He's not directly saying to Archana. He's first saying how difficult it is for minds to remain sane because the desires are constantly agitating a person. So in this particular verse, the 81st verse, he says from the very beginning, asamsarat, the very first word of the verse. Shuru se, from the very samsarat means from the very beginning of creation. Tribhuvanam idam, in the three worlds. In these three worlds, Tribhuvanam, in the three worlds. From the very beginning of creation in the three worlds, he says, Chinvatam, सोचने पे, ढूंढने में, ढूंढते ढूंढते, कितना भी ढूंढा, तात, oh my dears, he's calling us all, he says, oh dear, from the very beginning of creation, कितना भी ढूंढा, तो भी, he says, ताद्रिक न एवं, have got nothing like that, कुछ भी नहीं ऐसा मिला, कैसा? He says, अस्माकं नयन पदवीं, nothing has been like that which has come in our sight. नयन पदवीं, जो हमारी नजरों के आगे आया हो. और वा श्रोत्र मार्गम गतः, और has gone through our ears, means हमने कभी सुना हो. शुरू से सृष्टि के कोई भी हमें ऐसा कुछ हमने ना देखा है ना सुना है, ऐसा कुछ जैसा, क्या जैसा? He says, ayam dhatte vishaya karini. Now this is a very interesting analogy that he brings here. The analogy is, what happens to a male elephant when he's tied and he sees a female elephant? उसके mind को क्या होता है? He says that what happens to the male elephant on seeing the female elephant, the disturbance and the agitation that he shows up, this is the agitation that people experience, the world of temporary objects gives to people. And not in all these years, ever since creation was, have we seen or have we heard anyone who has been able to control the desires. हमें कोई मिला ही नहीं, ना हमने कभी ऐसा सुना कि किसी ने अपनी इच्छाओं पे काबू किया हो, लगाम लगाया हो. मतलब कभी भी हमने ना सुना है ना देखा है कहीं पे भी कि किसी ने भी अपनी इच्छाओं को कंट्रोल किया है, रोका है, हैंडल किया है. That the desires disturb the mind so much कि we have only seen people disturbed. In other words, we have only seen people agitated because of the desires. And what sort of an agitation is this? He says Vishaya Karini means that arousing sensuality. That particular object, he's equating the whole world of objects to that female elephant, who arouses desires in you when you see the objects. So when you see the objects, your mind is aroused by the want of the object. Is exactly the same, and this is a very, I'm still putting it in a very refined way. The way he uses the words, I don't think it's possible to explain it very openly. The strength in which he says this, in these few words, he says, वो जो male elephant का जो अभिमान है, here also we have been on अभिमान word, here गाढ़ गूढ़ अभिमान, that that mysterious looking thing in the female elephant, that kind of hidden thing that pulls the male elephant towards, and he finds himself tied to something and is not able to go approach it. He says that thing that starts happening to the seer, to the hearer of the objects, the world of objects. Now you look at your lives and everybody's lives. He's equating जिंदगी में हमारा हाल क्या होता है. क्या होता है कि जब हम चीज़ों को देखते हैं या इंसानों को देखते हैं तो हमारा माइंड जो विचलित is the right word, the restless, vigilant, unsteady, imbalanced is all because all that you see is that there is something there that your mind thinks that it must have, and then it is not able to stop itself. It is as disturbed. He says, Shipasya, as if it is intoxicated. It is aroused as if it is so intoxicated. Antakarana Karini. And almost, he uses the word, at least the translation says this, which is not a very good translation, but the best that's available. The Antakarana Karini means the one that becomes the means for disturbing the Antakarana. Karini here is also a double meaning for an elephant, female elephant. That one which becomes the means for the disturbance of the elephant, he says, he uses the word as seeming infatuation. When the mind is in a seeming infatuated state, he's equating only one elephant to another elephant, but he's saying it with reference to all the objects in the world. When the mind gets as infatuated, and this is what you really see so clearly, that in that words that he has used, he says, people lose themselves completely in infatuation with the world of objects and people. That's it. What happens, he says, there is Sanyama Leelam Anaya. And there seems to be that net that you throw to catch the elephant. It seems to be just a leelam, an amusement aspect of it, which the male elephant is struggling against and has no control over. The basic translation, this verse is very difficult to translate, but one of the translations in one of the books is beautiful. Oh brother, he says, that Tata word, he says, oh brother, I have not come across a man after all the search in the three regions. Means he's only exaggerating it to say कि कितना भी ढूंढ लिया, right from the birth of animal kind to its death, in heaven and in Netherland, who can subjugate his raw elephant-like mind that is excited by the female elephant in rut-like material objects. In rut-like material objects. The female elephant is equated to the material objects, and life, our minds are equated to the male elephant. He says, कोई ऐसा मिला ही नहीं है जिसका दिमाग रट में नहीं चला जाता when they see that elephant. In other words, there is no man to be seen or heard of in all the three regions of the world who can check his desires. मिलता नहीं कोई, आसानी से कोई नहीं ऐसे अपनी इच्छाओं को चेक कंट्रोल कर सकता है. And when you see these words well, when you just take the example, the example is very worth reflecting. Probably not highlighted it well enough, but if you just see the agitation that he's depicting outside objectively, between elephants, one pair of elephant, and you just equate that one pair of elephant and instead just put people there. What is happening to that internal mind, gurgling with desire, wanting it so much, desperation, that as if it doesn't get it, God knows what happens, etc., etc. He says this being the very nature of the Sanityam world. Iske andar, in this verse, Bhartrhari doesn't say this. The sub-commentator had mentioned, in all this, the only worthwhile thing you can do is to get the desires to be kept tamed. Do Shiva Archana. There is no other method of getting your desires under control. There is no way of checking your desires because they will grow and multiply unchecked. The only method will be how have you introduced God in your life. If your anchor in your mind is kept at the pole, there is left as God. And we can see that it is not easy to keep the mind on God. Between the mind on God and mind on object, where does it go easier and quicker? हम सबको पता है. हम सब जितना हम ये बात समझते हैं, कम ही लोग समझते होंगे इतनी गहराई से कि कितनी ज़रूरत है इस मन को हायर से जोड़ने की, गॉड से जोड़ने की, ईश्वर से जोड़ने. उसके बाद भी हम अपने मन को नहीं जोड़ पाते हैं. हमारा मन अभी भी कहाँ रहता है? Between what we have heard and seen and felt and etc., we are still entangled within that realm, and all that he is trying to say is, this world will go away. Your life will go away. But the bottom line of it, the bottom line of it is, how much did you gain out of this world, life? If you take any one desire, now I'm just going to touch upon the last point that he has said, that the desires play havoc on mind. What do you do with your desires? हमने कह तो दिया, भर्तृहरि ने कह दिया, worship. When we sit to worship in front, आसन लगा के बैठो. That is why मंदिर हमेशा जिस तरीके से बनते थे, you had to sit down to pray. आसन लगा के थोड़ी देर बैठो. And in the 16th step puja, it takes a little while, 20 minutes, half an hour it takes to do that. Once you're sitting there, watch the speed or the method in which the mind jumps up. The minute there is a desire, a doorbell, someone calling, something, your mind has given value to what? To that thing is real. Why is it real more than the real of the prayer? जब आप किसी से फोन पे बात करते हो, बहुत जरूरी बात कर रहे हो, कोई मीटिंग हो रही थी, कुछ हो रहा था, तुम्हारा मतलब सबका फोन साइलेंट पे भी हो सकता है, स्विच ऑफ भी हो सकता है. If someone is having a very important meeting, boardroom meeting supposing, or some very important meeting, you automatically keep everything at bay, isn't it? 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, nobody can contact you, you don't contact anybody because this is so essential. Now when it comes to prayers, do you give it the same value? मीटिंग में गए हो तो स्विच ऑफ है, प्रेयर करने बैठते हो तो माइंड स्विच्ड ऑन है completely. It is in contact with everything. It has not withdrawn even a bit. And such a prayer is now no prayer. What you have to understand is, however much I may struggle today, you have to understand only this much. Only when your mind gets withdrawn from its objects, world of objects, which includes people, and is able to abide with the same value that you hold for the objects at the moment, abide in Bhagwan, then you may call it upasana. Is this clear? उपासना किसको कहोगे, कब कहोगे? Just because I pray every day or just because I light a lamp? Of course it's better than doing nothing. We are not debating on that. But that is not enough to become your lifeline. It may not save you. It may just earn you some little good karma. That's about it. But it will not protect you. What will protect you is upasana. And what is upasana? Repeating myself if there was any disconnection. Upasana is when you take asan near. Upa asan is upasana. Baithna Ishwar ke paas. When you sit there, your mind should be in that, no? You know, when you're having a long lost friend and you've met your long lost friend, and when you're having a deep conversation and you give so much attention to that person. How much attention do you give to that person? When you met your friends or you meet anybody, तुम्हारा मन उसके साथ लगा हुआ होता है ना उस वक्त, ज्यादा तो इधर उधर कहीं नहीं जाता, बैठा है उसके साथ. Are you the same way sitting with God? When you are even sitting or worshipping, so called, तुम्हारे लिए वो मूर्ति ही है, पत्थर है, मूर्ति है, मटीरियल है, whatever you want to call it, मार्बल है, अष्टधातु है, कुछ भी कह लो उसको, मगर तुम उसको प्रेयर भगवान कह के तो कर रहे हो, मगर अपने सामने तुम देख क्या रहे हो? Some inert वस्तु. Are you able to see the gap? You are actually, when you are praying to something inert. तुम सिर्फ इसलिए कर रहे हो बिकॉज तुम्हें करना चाहिए, तुम्हें लगता है, तुम्हें कहा गया है, तुम मानते हो, चलो थोड़ी समथिंग इज बेटर देन नथिंग करके तुम करते हो. फर्क हम ये कहने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, ये जो करना ऐसा है ना, इस करने का कहते नहीं कि ना करो, इट्स एज गुड एज नॉट डन, ये नहीं कह रहे हैं. इस करने का जो फल होना तुम्हें चाहिए इन दिस टेम्पररी वर्ल्ड, वो नहीं है ये. You're losing out on something very important that God was introduced in your life for. God was introduced in your life so that all the desires are kept checked. Because as the verse says, there is no one who can check his desire. रुकती नहीं है ये. They're like fire, we've heard it before. They don't stop on their own. So if they don't stop on their own, then it is but obvious that it is impossible for someone to control their desires. They're virtually not possible, especially and more so when you are in the realm of objects alone. And when you begin to worship also, you have made God also an object. आप जब be very careful when you pray. आप जिस मूर्ति के आगे प्रेयर कर रहे हो, उस मूर्ति को आप सच में देखो. क्या आप भगवान कह रहे हो वहां पे? आप उसको इनर्ट देख के कह रहे हो, मूर्ति देख के कह रहे हो? ऑनेस्ट आंसर फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस, आई थिंक ऑल ऑफ अस कैन वेरी सेफली से कि हम उसको मूर्ति देखते हैं, पत्थर देखते हैं. इनफैक्ट हम पत्थर का क्वालिटी देखते हैं, पत्थर की क्वालिटी देखते हैं, कितना अच्छा है, कहीं क्रैक तो नहीं है, यू नो. It's so interesting. I'm sorry. I'm going to go into that realm completely. It is so interesting to see how ironical we human beings are. We are almost funny. We are laughable stock. We are. हम मूर्ति लेने जब जाते हैं तो बहुत ध्यान से देखते हैं कहीं कहीं उसके क्रैक तो नहीं है, बिकॉज एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. बड़ा अपशगुन होता है अगर उसके अंदर क्रैक होता है, प्राण प्रतिष्ठा एक्सेट्रा बहुत कुछ करते हैं. बट जब तुम प्रेयर करते हो तो तुम उसमें वहां भगवान देखते हो कि तुम अभी भी उसको पत्थर ही देख रहे हो? क्या देख रहे हो? Any one of us has any experience of how we worship? Can you answer from your experience? What do you see? I तो only see धातु. पत्थर है, मिट्टी है, पत्थर है, कुछ भी कह लो उसको. Ultimately, the value of that मूर्ति is the value of the धातु. जिसको उपासना करनी है, उसको क्या वहां पे वो दिख रहा है? जब तुम अपने दोस्त से मिलते हो, फ्रेंड से मिलते हो, लॉन्ग लॉस्ट मिलते हो, व्हाट आर दोस मीटिंग्स, रियूनियंस. जब रियूनियन होती है, at that reunion point, how do you meet them? You meet them as life, no? Catch up old times and etc. etc. कितना उसको अपने टाइम को तुम इम्पोर्टेंस उनके लिए निकालते हो, उस मोमेंट के लिए निकालते हो. जब उनके साथ हो तो तुम अपना पूरा उसको मैक्सिमाइज करते हो. Get the most out of this. Have fun, have catch up, etc. Whatever you want to say in the words. उपासन. जब ईश्वर के सामने बैठे हो, do you do the same? Yes or no? Yeah, that is, we'll talk about that differently. Here the topic really is only because he's using the word Archana. Archana, I am bringing it to Upasana. And all of us have started, or we start, or at least the generalization that we have in our classes, or even in public, people start from Murti. When they start from a Murti, आप जिस तरीके से प्रे कर रहे हो, I am trying to say only this much, and Bhartrahari is making me see this to say this. He says that क्या तुम्हारी उस ये जो डिजायर तुम्हें डिस्टर्ब करती है, like a male elephant when he sees a female elephant, में जो तुम agitated रहते हो in that state of the mind when you see the objects, this we all understand and we see everywhere, isn't it? You see anybody in the world, if a person loves drinking and partying and he gets a group of people who can drink and party with him and not at his expense, how is he? Isn't he like a male elephant who was tired and he was aroused when he saw the female elephant? बिल्कुल वैसे ही function करता है वो. There is no difference at all. Now, such desires are difficult to hunt. He's saying हमने कभी देखा ही नहीं है, which is I would go by Bhartrahari completely. If he says हमने ना कभी देखा है, ना कभी सुना है कि किसी ने कंट्रोल किया है, हम तो इसको क्वेश्चन भी नहीं करेंगे any further and do not waste time in exploring it. नहीं, हम कंट्रोल करके दिखाएंगे. What is the point of it? All he is saying is they are so tough and difficult and impossible to deal with. If your mind has become desire ridden, the only alternative to handle the desire is when you introduce God in your life in some form. Up to this, the point is very clear to all of us. But what I am saying now is perhaps not even perceptible to most of the people. Because we think introducing God means sitting in front of God, worshipping, diya jala liya, agarbatti jala li, once in a while prayer kar li, chahe sakam worship bhi ki, but that is the worship that we call as worship. And what he is trying to say is that this form of a worship will not protect the disturbance of the desire. ये जो तुमने वर्शिप किया है ना, ऐसा, this is not an insurance against your disturbed mind. Not only it is not an insurance against your disturbed mind, it is hardly carrying forward with you. It is still belonging to the realm of anityam. Because तुमने वहाँ ईश्वर नहीं, तुम बैठे ईश्वर के साथ नहीं हो, तुम बैठे हो डिजायर के साथ, या उधर at that point you are just seeing the material, you are seeing an object, you are seeing a murti, you are seeing jada. Pran Pratishthan in a murti also meant that it is no longer jada. The 16-step puja also meant that you are treating it like a guest. It's alive. उसको उपासना कहते हैं, is what I am trying to say. उपासना कब बनती है? जब ईश्वर जड़ नहीं है, but चैतन्यम, and that चैतन्यम के साथ तुम कैसे रिश्ता रखते हो? People like, it's very important because for some who want to do murti puja, they have asked us questions in the past, so I'm taking this opportunity to answer that as well. How do you do Murti Puja? You want to keep a God with you. You want to hold the God. You want to have a God, form of a God. But how do you actually have that form of God? Is just having a form of God, उसको सुबह उठा लिया, नहला लिया, ना एक्सेट्रा, पानी चढ़ा दिया, दूध चढ़ा दिया, तुलसी, if it's Krishna, तुलसी चढ़ा दी, if it is Shiva, etc., etc. That method, is that upasana? Ritual is the upasana. Ritual is karma. Karma is only going to give you some sort of a little punya, but it is not adequate to control your desire. Punya will only give you more benefits in the world. Choti murti, badi kharid loge. You will gain more in life. That gaining more in life is different. You will get more in life in terms of material, and knowing the desires that each one entertains in ourselves. What will we do with the more? Again, same indulgence. इसमें भगवान ईश्वर क्या बना? बहुत, it's actually very beautiful. I don't know how well I'm communicating this, but it is so beautiful to recognize how flawed our upasanas are. Not only flawed, I would say they are improper. They're not even upasana. They don't even qualify to become an upasana. और हम बड़े मजे में अपने आप को बुद्धू बना के बैठे हैं कि हम तो बड़े उपासक हैं, हम तो बहुत पूजा पाठा करते हैं, हम तो बड़ी गुड सर्विस करते हैं लाइफ, हम तो बहुत कुछ, अब तो हम कर्म योग उपासना योग दोनों करते हैं, अब तो हम ज्ञान योग करते हैं, तो बाकी तो करने की जरूरत ही क्या है? नित्य नित्य वस्तु विचार कर लेते हैं ना हम तो. अगर नित्य अनित्य वस्तु विचार कर लेते हैं तो मेल एलिफेंट फीमेल एलिफेंट का एग्जाम्पल याद कर लेना. हमारा माइंड का क्या हाल होता है when you see the female elephant and he is equated female body में, your mind doesn't become a female elephant, your mind remains the male elephant. The minute it goes, sees a female and it is tied, you have to take the whole example. Male elephant but it feels tied, means it's not free to run chase the female elephant. But female elephant अपना कान ऐसे ऐसे कर रही है, घूम रही है, ऐसे ऐसे लटक रही, मटक रही, सामने सब कुछ हिल रही है, और मेल एलिफेंट इज टाइड, बंधा हुआ है, जा नहीं पा रहा है, और फीमेल एलिफेंट के आगे घंटी वेग लगा दी है तो घूम रही है आगे. All the objects, what are they? All the world full of objects and people is nothing but female elephants to this male mind, male elephant. Only way to deal with it is have upasana. He says that upasak banna अपने आप में is far, 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 I don't know the right word, I can't say higher, I can't say, it's far reaching. That's true. Just doing it because you do not, you know, when you sit, it may happen not every day. It should happen every moment. But our minds are totally objectified. That's the right word. Fully objectful. You know, not objective. It is objectful. It's full of, you know, holding everything in it. If you only when you be with any form of Ishvara and you remember to yourself, just as you gave the importance to the telephone call and the person on the other side, when you were talking to someone on the telephone and you spent 1.5 to 2 hours on the telephone because that was an alive person, your friend, your family or somebody, and you gave so much of yourself to that person, if you are only sitting in front of that murti and saying this is also not enough, so what if I don't see? The formless is there. It's existent in every form. मैंने उसको एक फॉर्म में अगर देखना शुरू किया तो वो तो मेरी लिमिटेशन के कारण है, इसलिए नहीं कि वो लिमिटेड है. That upasana, when So we need to avoid the mechanization of the process of evoking God daily. In other words, we need to be fully present while doing the action. Yes, not only just fully present, you have to also impose on that particular form a living entity. As you would value talking to another living being is how you would value your worship with the form that you have associated yourself for. And this is where it answers almost all of your questions. So you would actually, this is Vedika's question also. You would associate Ishvara as not inert, not as only that floating object in the ocean that you will touch once in a while. जब तुम्हें ज़रूरत पड़ी तब तुमने उठा ली फिर वापस फेंक दी उसको. You are going to be stepping out of the cruising life, and you're going to jump into the ocean because that's where actually you already are. That ocean is the samsara where you survive. In that ocean of samsara, that floating object alone was that helping aid. उसी ने आपकी जान बचानी थी. जिसने आपकी जान बचानी थी, उसके साथ how will you deal? What value will you give? Will the people on the other end of the phone become any more important after that? When you are sitting in upasana, will it be mattering at all that there was a telephone call, or there was a doorbell, or there was somebody else, or there was something else to do? क्या ये जरूरी रह भी जाएगा? और अगर अभी भी जरूरी रह जाता है, then please be honest. At least say this is not worship. उपासना नहीं, ये मेरे माइंड को शांत नहीं करेगा. अपनी जगह में कुछ कर्म है, देगा मुझे कुछ तो, better than no कर्म. मगर if I am asking for shanti, this is not going to give me the shanti. There is no cause and effect between these two. My mind becomes grown, matures, like wine. How does wine mature? Grape becomes wine, and grape becomes wine over how many years? And the older it gets, more not because it gets expensive, is only because it is supposed to be more valued. Your association with God is to be like that. Your mind matures. What is it mind maturing? It transforms itself. In what manner? It develops all that internal qualities that it needs to remain stable. What are the qualities that keep you stable? Contented, acceptance, okay, peaceful, non-complaining, okay. What are the other things? Vairagyam, most important. उसी से तो शांत होगा. You know, there is this ठहराव, ठहर जाता है, भागता नहीं आसानी से ऑब्जेक्ट्स के पीछे, ठहर जाता है. क्यों ठहरता है? क्यों ठहरता है? बिकॉज ईश्वर है. यू आर रिलेटिंग टू दैट विच इज परवेसिव, जिसके साथ आपको एक कोना नहीं चाहिए जीवन का. That aspect of it, he says, when you grow into this is second best to Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka Vichar. Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka Vichar is only going to be possible in the first place if your mind has matured enough to reach this point. Which point? The point is that your mind can have a conversation with God in the manner that it is alive. The value that you give to a person on the other end of the telephone call is the value that you also place there. If everything can hold for a board meeting, then while you are worshipping, everything can hold also. Nothing else is so important in life than that these things. At least give it first an equal importance before you give it the sole importance. There used to be a Swami when we were young, we heard this there. अभी भी उनके students कहते होंगे जरूर. Example, when you start Vedanta in life, especially the people who come for classes. Amongst your list of things in life, so many to do, attending Vedanta classes, out of 100 things, 99, maybe 100, maybe 98, for some maybe 90, मतलब उसके पहले 95 चीज़ें आ जाती हैं. पहले ये करना, ये जिंदगी में ये करना, ये ऐसे खूब सारी चीज़ें आती हैं, and it comes only 95, 96, 99, sometimes 100, last priority it comes. And once in a while you manage to make it to that also. Means life gives so much opportunity that also happens. Over the years, even to that person, he 100 जिसके लिस्ट में था, 95 जिसकी लिस्ट में था, शुरुआत जिसने वहां से की, ओवर द ईयर्स सुन के धीरे बाकी सब चीज़ों की रियलिटी जैसे जैसे दिखने लगती है, समझ आने लगती है, चीज़ें जैसे जैसे साफ होने लगती है, वैसे वैसे गिरने लगती है, एंड द वैल्यू फॉर इट स्टार्ट्स चेंजिंग, द प्रायोरिटी फॉर इट चेंजेस. So it starts falling into 40s, 60s first. After first 60 things, 61st is Vedanta. Means उसके बाद आएंगी अभी 39. At least 39 I've dropped out. I will give them, I can drop them when it comes to the class, and between those things I will drop that. But I will come for this. But 60 are still there in front. Those 60 are important. As you keep growing और थोड़ा, then what happens is it comes to, say, I'm shortcutting it, 20s. Maybe most of us are within those 20s. 20 means there are only about 15, 19, 20 things in our life which are very important. 80 things we have dismissed away as not important, which started as 95 number pe has come down to 20 now, and for some of us it has dropped down to even first 3, first 5. But yeah, everything else can wait. This is very essential. Now the same thing is if you want to grow further. This is in gaining the clarity. In classes, what did you get? You got the clarity. Now in gaining the clarity, this at least growth has happened up to here. But for maturity of your mind and for you to drop the value of the objects of the world that cling to your mind, ये जो चिपक के बैठ गए, लिटरली व्हाट इज इट, चिपकने वाला वो जो एक बार चिपकता है फिर अब निकलता नहीं है, जोक शुरू, आई डोंट नो इफ दे आर स्टिल अवेलेबल. क्विक फिक्स तो निकल आता है, बट देयर वाज समथिंग देयर, is that it? Which if you then they say your finger will also, that's araldite. They're objects clinging to our mind. एक बार घुस गए ना अंदर, stuck like araldite. अब वो एक बार आ गए अंदर तो अभी निकलते नहीं है क्योंकि चिपक गए. Now what is the method of de-chipkoing it? How will you de-chipko them objects? And objects, please understand, they're not literally, we are not young people to say कि हमारे लिए objects would mean chocolates and bicycles, and these are not the objects for us. I don't think so. I hope not. But you never know. But it's okay if they are. You start from there. What are our objects, most of us? What are our objects? What is clung to our minds? Centered, yeah. Family, etc. Relations, peace, family peace. Friend, happiness from friends, once in a while this and that. These are the objects. Wanting appreciation, blah 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 blah. लेकिन पकड़ लिया ना, जब तक ये मन में पकड़ा हुआ है तब तक trust these verses like your lifeline. Just have faith in these verses that this, what it says is the truth and nothing less than the truth. What is it? As long as these objects are pakdo to your mind, the only way you can grow your mind is when you have formed a relationship with Ishvara, as important and valuable as your relationship with people is. To start off with as important, that's what the example was. At least start off with as important, then it must grow in priority. It must reach number 1 because He is the indweller of all. He alone is. उसके साथ रिश्ता alone exclusive बनाने में, why is there hesitation? What is not going to last with you? You are spending so much of your investments into those aspects of life which are just temporary. Which aspect of life is going to be permanent? बचपन निकल गया एक्सेट्रा. वी वॉन्ट स्टार्ट दैट अगेन बिकॉज डन बहुत बहुत किया है. बचपन निकल गया, यौवन निकल गया, जवानी निकल गई, बुढ़ापे की एंट्री निकल गई, बुढ़ापा भी निकल ही रहा है. Lighting a lamp every day won't cut it. What else would? Lighting a lamp along with recognizing the value of whom you are lighting to, that would. Whom are you lighting the lamp to? Ultimately, it's like, you cannot see it as just an object over there. Just as you give importance to your mother or your brother or your friends or any one of us over here, and how valuable you would take your time out for those things, is how valuable that particular deity in front of you is to whom you lamp. And when that association is formed, then you can say that is upasana. And that upasana will have results in life, in the sense that it will mature your mind. And without internal maturity, you are just cruising in life, having a wonderful cruise, what is it called? Cruise vacation? Is that the correct word? No, just cruise. On the cruise, the vacations that you have, is just called cruise? Going on a cruise. The most boring type. Going on a cruise. You agree, no? But what will control the mind? What will control the mind? Everyone needs it. In this context, what will, if you were listening? As how?
As that relationship with God.
Unless until you start doing it, you are not going to have any sanity in life. I may feel exaggerating, but I'm not. You will have no sanity in life. And no sanity means? Insanity. Madness. Your mind will make you, just as a male elephant is when it sees the female elephants, it will make you helter-skelter. Run after this, run after that, वहाँ भागोगे, यहाँ भागोगे, ये करोगे. And you're not asked to spend too much time with it. It's not that you have to spend the whole day and night with Ishvara. The time that you have allotted for yourself, as you would to a friend of yours. आजकल तो करते ही है ना हम लोग, thanks to mobile, thanks to WhatsApp, international calls are also free. Hours people can talk. 15-20 minutes the average every call takes. Average 15-20 minutes of WhatsApp international call for a person, which Ishvara says is, which Bhartrahari says is temporary. अगली बार तुम फोन उसको वापस करोगे, वो तुमको करेगा ना, तब तक वो भी बदल चुका होगा, तुम भी बदल चुके होगे, तुम अभी भी उस पिछली कॉन्वर्सेशन में बैठे हुए हो, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. 15-20 minutes, and you, how much time are you ready to spend with God? Fatafat, hurriedly. That is done very hurriedly. And thanks to all our instant measures also now. Already pre-waxed lights, LED lights and diyas, and everything is pre, so that you just have to light it and I'm sorry. You really think that is called prayer? कौन भगवान सुनेगा तुम्हारी? इतना उसको लास्ट प्रायोरिटी में रखने के बाद, you really think he should give you the fall of as if you are exclusive to him? Am I making sense? I hope so. But as hurriedly a relationship as we have with him, so hurried, and yet what we want him to give us? Everything. He should be available to us like an emergency call service, ambulance service. 24/7 into 12 into rest of my life. मुझे जब ईश्वर की जरूरत हो, he should be there for me. What have I done in turn? He's not so easy. And yet he's very easily available. He's the most easily available. But we are the ones who have destroyed the relationship so badly that for us now it seems as if people are more important than that which is permanent. अरे जन्म जन्मांतर जो तुम्हारे साथ रहने वाला है, जिसने छोड़ा नहीं जन्म जन्मांतर से, तुमने कितनी बार छोड़ा, कितने हरीड दिए किए और कब एथिस्ट बन गए थे, कब गुस्से में तुमने उसे छोड़ ही दिया. कोई भगवान भगवान नहीं है बिकॉज तुम्हारे जिंदगी में बहुत तकलीफें आ गई थी, तो जन्म बीत गए कहते हुए कि भगवान कुछ नहीं है, फिर एक जन्म में कुछ और बन गए, फिर एक कितने. बट स्टडी रिलेशनशिप, this is a verse which is only showing one aspect. Thanks to the sub-commentator that we get this aspect along with it. The verse Bhartrahari is going to build further on. All he wants to say is, these desires, we may continue later again, these desires are almost impossible to deal with. अगर एक बार अंदर बन गई हैं, इन इच्छाओं को आसानी से ये मत समझ लेना कि ये तुम्हारे काबू में आ जाएंगी. Don't take it lightly. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it like a child's play. Desires are not child's play. They are not to be taken lightly. Once you entertain some desires, they have their own expressions of life. They will make you mad just as male elephant gets mad when it sees the female elephant. And that is the bottom line. That since no one ever has managed, means even great yogis have not managed. तो कोशिश भी मत करो कि हमें इच्छाओं को अपनी कंट्रोल करना है. कोशिश ये करो कि हमारा रिश्ता ईश्वर के साथ कितना इम्प्रूव हो रहा है, कितना बन रहा है. How much am I really connecting and giving him the importance of being there. And उसके बाद where is he not? फर्स्ट कॉल किसकी लेनी चाहिए? That should be the first call always. How do you know that you are receiving that call? That also. How do you know that you are receiving his call? When at your will you connect with Ishvara. That is being at peace with yourself. तुम्हारा जब मन करे तुम उससे बातें करना शुरू, मतलब तुम अब उसके साथ जुड़े हुए हो. You don't wait for mind to calm down, because when you are disturbed and you pray, we all know our prayers when our minds are disturbed. How you should be at focus on building those relationships. अनित्य realm में कितना वैल्यू उसको देना है, this should be clear to human beings, so that you are also able to take. While this is essential, nobody said it is completely discardable, but it cannot be given such a high value that you would reduce the real things to almost no value. And the real thing is, in this context, because the topic is Ishvara Upasana, for Vedanta the topic is Nitya Nitya Vastu Vichar. We can determine very clearly, are we able to do the Nitya Nitya Vastu Vichar? If we are not able to do the Nitya Nitya Vastu Vichar, then he says, this is your second best option. And for all of us, we are in a very beautiful position of life. We can do both because they are not exclusive. Nitya Nitya Vastu Vichar is the highest means for freedom. But for already existent desires of mind, for already existent disturbed state of mind, Nitya Nitya Vastu Vichar can work the shortest if my mind is quiet enough to listen to it. But if it is already a disturbed element by its own existent desires, then I need some other method. There's so much life to live for. And what are we living for? Is it clear to us? What do we live for? Petty stuff. And it's not even moment, in the ocean, that froth that comes. उस फ्रॉथ के ऊपर जब मिट्टी भी निकलती है ना उसकी, डर्टी फ्रॉथ, द डर्टी फ्रॉथ, योर होल वैल्यू इज फॉर द डर्टी फ्रॉथ. Froth is also not clean. The waves are also bringing along with it dirty froth. And that dirty froth is what you are holding on to, because that's the only thing you see everywhere. You don't realize that there's something called cleaner froth first. What is a cleaner froth? Antakarna Shuddhi. What is a dirty froth? राग द्वेष युक्त मनहा, जो सबका है हमारा, मतलब इट्स ओके टू बी लाइक दिस, इट्स ओके, वी कैन बी लाइक दिस एज वेल. इफ somebody gives me something, I can also hit back. It is okay. You keep your class to yourself. Do not bring it here. दुनिया में तो ऐसे ही काम चलता है. चूज तो आप ही को करना. काम तो दुनिया में ऐसे ही चलता है, वो चलता नहीं है. वो डर्टी फ्रॉथ है जो पकड़ के रखा है, क्योंकि साफ दिखता नहीं है. डर्टी को छोड़ दोगे तो क्या दिखेगा? साफ दिखेगा. और जब साफ दिखेगा तो उसको पकड़ने की कोशिश करोगे. जब साफ दिखेगा तब तुम्हें लगेगा ओ माय गॉड, हम क्या डर्टी को पकड़ के रख रहे थे. और जब वो साफ दिखने लगता है, उसके बाद दिखेगा कि उसमें क्या रिफ्लेक्ट हो रहा है. I don't know if I've gone into too much of metaphors. Is this okay? So just to be able to, this is such an important aspect that we don't get the chance to cover in normal Vedanta class. हम सबको पता है, हम बोल देते हैं प्रेयर करो, वर्शिप, उपासना करो, बट उपासना कहते किसको है? 16 स्टेप पूजा का मतलब क्या है? वर्चुअली लिटरली रिचुअल तो नहीं हो सकता ना. उन सब 16 स्टेप्स में व्हाट इज द बॉटम लाइन? इफ यू सी द स्टेप्स, you shake yourself off. Am I ever going to be able to worship God after that in an inert form? Because वो 16 steps का मतलब है I see चैतन्यम in that. ईश्वर है, उसको मैंने उसको स्थान दिया है, उसको बिठाया है, उसके चरण धोए हैं, उसको मैंने भोग चढ़ाया है, उसके नहलाया है, वस्त्र चढ़ाए हैं, उसको मैंने दीप चढ़ाया है, उसको मैंने अगरबत्ती की है, उसको मैंने नैवेद्यम दिया है, उसको फिर बाद में मैंने कहा है अब आप जाके रेस्ट करो, हम भी कुछ काम कर लेते हैं. तुझे तो काम करना नहीं, तू तो सृष्टि बना के करता रहता है, हमें तो डाल दिया, अब हमें तो करना पड़ता है. तभी तेरे साथ वार्तालाप हो गई, नित्य कर्म मेरा हो गया, नित्य उपासना हो गई, अब मुझे अपने बाकी शरीर यात्रा. लेकिन जरूरी क्या है मेरे लिए? ये जरूरी है, ये क्योंकि अभी हम बंधे हैं और अभी हम दिख नहीं रहा है कि ये अगर कर दिया तो इसको करने की जरूरत नहीं है. मगर वो दिखता नहीं है, तो चलो अभी तुम वापस जाओ. उपासना का तो मतलब ही ये होता है, जाओ तुम जाके फिर से जाके अपने अनमैनिफेस्ट स्टेट पे चले जाना. फिर जब मुझे कॉल करना हो, या तू कॉल कर या मैं कॉल करूँ, वी शुड बी अवेलेबल टू ईच अदर. मैं कब कॉल करूँ? जब मैं सुबह घंटी बजा दूँ तो टेलीफोन बेल टू गॉड, उठ भाई, बात करनी मेरे को तुझसे, फोन उठा. वो जब घंटी बजाए तो योर कॉन्शियस शुड बी सो क्लियर दैट इट टेल्स यू व्हाट इज राइट एंड व्हाट इज रॉन्ग. तुम्हें साफ दिखता है कि ये डिजायर बंधन है, ये डिजायर मुझे बॉन्डेज है, ये डिजायर मेरे को फ्यूचर में जाके डिस्टर्ब करेगी. तुम्हें जब तुम्हें साफ दिखता है तुम्हारी गलतियां कैसे तुम चॉइस कर रहे हो या एक्सेट्रा, दैट इज उधर से घंटी बजी, क्योंकि वार्तालाप हो रही है ना. हमें तो पता ही नहीं चलता कि घंटी भी हम बजाते तो सिर्फ पड़ोसी उठता है गुस्से में, तंग कर देते हैं सुबह सुबह उठ के. दैट इज वाई रियल वर्शिपर्स यू वॉन्ट इवन फाइंड इन सोसाइटी. वो तो बोल भी नहीं सकते, क्योंकि मूढ़ बुद्धि को कौन बात करे? जिसकी जड़ बुद्धि हो चुकी है, जड़ वस्तुओं में बैठ के, इस जड़ बुद्धि को क्या बात करेगा कोई? इसलिए वो अपना वर्शिप करते हैं, बैठते हैं, उपासक बनते हैं। किसी को अगर जरा भी भनक होगी और उनके अंदर ऐसा कुछ घंटियां ऑलरेडी चल रही थी ईश्वर से कुछ पूर्वम से, तो पता चलता है, वरना यू विल नॉट फाइंड इन सोसाइटी पीपल रियली गोइंग एंड टीचिंग पीपल हाउ टू वर्शिप। पॉसिबल ही नहीं है। कौन समझेगा कि भगवान मूर्ति नहीं है? माय गॉड, मूर्ति में भगवान है, मूर्ति तो भगवान नहीं है। मूर्ति में भगवान है मीन्स व्हाट? ज्यादा हो रहा है, शुड बी स्विच ऑफ। मूर्ति में भगवान है मीन्स व्हाट? इट्स नॉट इनफ। चैतन्य मूर्ति में भगवान है, तो इस इंसान में भगवान जान थी, तो उसको तो तुमने बहुत वैल्यू दिया, अपना वक्त दिया, अपना सब कुछ दिया, अपना एनर्जी दिया, अपना क्या क्या नहीं दिया उसको। भगवान को मिश्री चढ़ा दी, कभी चढ़ाई कभी नहीं चढ़ाई। मैं तो ऐसा ही करती हूँ, मन किया चढ़ाया, नहीं सोया रहे। If we can only start, see the point here is in relation to how to manage a desire. और ये बात तो शायद कहीं पे भी नहीं आ सकती। इच्छाओं को काबू में रखने के लिए इसकी कोशिश मत करना कि इच्छा रुके, मेरा माइंड रुके, इधर ना जाए उधर ना जाए, ये कंट्रोल वो कंट्रोल। आसान तरीका है, उपासना में मन लगा, उपासना बना, अपने अपने जीवन का एक साधन बना। कब? टेम्पररी वर्ल्ड, टेम्पररी ऑब्जेक्ट्स, टेम्पररी, इसके अंदर जितना उपासक बनेगा तू, उतना ही तू ज्ञान निष्ठा की तरफ आएगा। कर्म योग और उपासना योग साधन है ज्ञान योग के। सीढ़ी तो एक एक चढ़ते हैं। सो जितना नित्य नित्य वस्तु विचार हो सकता है, देन यू डोंट नीड ऑल दिस। नहीं अगर होता है तो उपासना, वो भी नहीं होती तो कर्म। एटलीस्ट डू द लाइटिंग ऑफ द लैम्प। ओके, पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। शांति शांति शांति। सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। Lighting of the lamp is a means for upasana. Lighting of the lamp itself is not upasana. It is a step to upasana. Our question is, but isn't lighting of the lamp upasana? So the answer is, if lighting of the lamp is not upasana, it is a step of upasana, means for upasana. Clear? And why do I want to say, Veeri, don't cry. Don't worry. Who needs to know me? सारी क्लास तो समझाया, देन क्या? समझ में आया सबको? है ना? When you are able to visualize in your chosen deity, fix one chosen deity. When you are able to visualize in your chosen deity life there, just as you see life in your friends and your family, etc., and you relate to them as they are alive. Absolutely in the same way, when you are able to see Ishvara in that form of the chosen deity that you have chosen for yourself, that is now beginning stages of upasana. Okay? I'm waiting if you have more questions. Hari Om. It's a very important stage of life. I mean, for everyone. How we miss out on the advantage of being born in this culture where, great, where you are actually got the opportunity to mature your mind with the help of an entirely different set of actions. You know, दुनिया में maturity किसे कहते हैं? दुनिया की maturity. Let's talk about world में. What do you call, who is a mature person? समझता है, ठीक समझता है, ठीक ठाक समझता है, थोड़े अपने इमोशंस कंट्रोल में रख के रिस्पॉन्स देता है, थोड़े मतलब रिस्पॉन्स से ज़्यादातर भी एसोसिएट maturity of a person, how they respond back to situations and people, difficult and easy. That's all we call as maturity in the worldly sense. That a person is mature enough, means doesn't get easily reactive and rattled, doesn't get easy. I mean, is able to take correct decisions even in the toughest of times, or at least what is that kind of a person we associate as a mature person. That mature is no mature compared to what the Shastra says a human maturity is about. Human mature, ये तो एक outcome है. तुम ऐसा कर ही सकोगे, ये तो कुछ है ही नहीं बड़ी बात. Human maturity is when your mind has hold over its desires. In fact, it's not easy to have desire for the mind. Once it has desires, talking about it later, then it knows how to be able to keep the desire in its place, because the maturity of the mind is that it has Shama, Dama, Adi, Shataka, Sampatti entirely as characteristics of its own self. They got built. Mind got matured from Prakrit Swabhav to Samskrita Swabhav. From the impulsive nature to matured nature. Matured nature means it has all those characteristics that are necessary, and Upasana helps build them. That is called having Upasana. And most of us are not able to get to Vedanta beyond a point because our minds are struggling with Sadhana Chatushtaya. Ragadvesh is still an essential ingredient of our mind. So when Ragadvesh is still, this is bhakti. Correct. This is how you develop bhakti. This is called bhakti. This is the bhakti which will grow a person into recognizing the real from the unreal. Bhakti helps to recognize the real from the unreal. Bhakti is not just adoration of God. Adoration is an outcome. Just simply, adoring is just naturally there. Because just as you adore any person in the world, You adore Ishvara.
Question. So does upasana happen only in the Samkhya Bhava Bhakti?
Sorry?
Does upasana really happen truly only in the Sakha Bhava Bhakti, or can happen in all?
In all of them. All bhavs of bhakti. Bhakti has how many bhavs? 5. 9. Nava bhakti. Navarasa bhakti. Have 9 forms. 9 expressions. Bhav. They're just 9 expressions. So any of them are means for you to develop bhakti. But in essence, bhakti is only when you are able to recognize the form of God as living entity. That is why Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was a bhakta, because he saw Devi Ma as living. He couldn't see in that idol, that was also an idol, but he couldn't see idol as inert. He saw the Ma there in that idol. और हम जब सब देखते हैं तो विवेकानंद ने भी जब देखा तो क्या देखा? विवेकानंद फॉर्म देखा. मतलब you have to see the disparity of how we live our life and spend our life, and what is to be spent for. People have striven for that and achieved it also, and yet we compare our end results with them. They are, so we should also. हमने किया क्या? हमारे लिए भगवान was only this. Danadan. वो भी the days we are silent. And most of the girls have looked forward to only those few days in the month where the scripture allows you not to worship also. Then you question why. You are either falling in the modern category, you will say why? Why should I not? Or you will take it as an excuse and say good. दोनों बहाने मिल गए. Maturity of the mind is when you will find the characteristics which are in unison with what you see in Ishvara. ईश्वर क्या है? उसके unison में जो characteristics होती हैं that you find yourself with. You didn't work for them. You don't practice them. Practice तो हम तब करते हैं जब हम भक्ति नहीं करते. तो कुछ तो करें. जब कर्तापन बहुत है हम में तो हम करेंगे तो प्रैक्टिस करो. एटलीस्ट सही प्रैक्टिस करो. जो करना है वो सही तो करो. भक्ति इज effortless growth. बट भक्ति करना आसान नहीं है. मूर्ति में ईश्वर को देखना, people will call you bhakta. People will call you mad. Ramakrishna Mission. He was called a madman. He was called a madman, and his yearning and crying was just as you yearn and cry for a phone call from the other end. कभी कभी हम करते हैं ना इंसानों के से, oh I miss somebody so much, I wish I could talk, I wish I can talk. That is how he was yearning for Ma. I wish I can talk, Ma, come, where are you? Meera was like that. But her Thera was very different from Ramakrishna's Thera. She never saw Krishna as different from?
Or as a murti.
She never saw him as a form. All right. Done? No more question? Hari Om. Bless you.